All right, people. So I had, as usual, persons will agree and disagree with me still. But I believe that quite a number of persons who disagreed with me because I provided limited information in my last video. And this time I decided, you know what? Let me, instead of talking off the top of my head of things that I know, let me give you something more substantial. The first thing I want to bring to your attention was that in the first quarter of 2017, just last year, INECOM appeared before the Parliament, which is the only body that they are held accountable to or by. And they reported that they arrested 51 police officers in the first quarter of 2017. Now, in saying that, a lot of persons gonna jump, hooray, yes, a lot of corrupt police. Don't get the hopes up so quick. Of the 51 police officers that INECOM arrested, they were only able to take 3 cases before the court. And let me say it another way so you understand. They were only able to substantiate 3 of the 51 reports. Let me put it another way. They were only able to gather enough evidence in 3 of the cases to bring before the court. And of the 3 cases, they were able to convict 2 of the police officers, and 1 was exonerated. Now, this in and of itself, isn't something blatantly wrong with this? Isn't something blatantly wrong with an investigatory body arresting 49 people that you're unable to bring the matter before the court? I want you to think outside of the box, people. Because if they were able to bring the matter before the court and then it was thrown out because of lack of evidence and all of that too, fine by me. And it's not even fine by me. If it was thrown out for lack of evidence, it's also a disgrace on INECOM themselves. INECOM is a waste of taxpayers' money. I'm telling you that. How can you arrest 51 persons and after 51 persons you're only able to bring 3 matters before the court? Isn't that in and of itself shows you how INECOM abuse their power? Alright. I'm going to bring another thing to your attention. In front of me, I have the 2 things. I want to pick them up and show you. One is the Fundamental Charter. The Charter of Fundamental Rights. It's a part of the Constitution of Jamaica. When they amended the Constitution, Chapter 3 was taken out, and the Chapter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom was put in. This was amended in 2011. And here is also part and parcel of the INECOM Act that I'm going to show you. Now, I want to ask you guys, let me read it first before I ask you a question. 1, under your Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, it says, every person charged with a criminal offense shall not, this is, let me tell you so you can Google it, Section 5, Section 6, subsection F, shall not be compelled to testify against himself or to make any statement amounting to a confession or admission to guilt. That is what your Constitution says. Your Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom for every single Jamaican says. Let me read it again. Every person charged with a criminal offense shall not be compelled to testify against himself or to make a statement amounting to a confession or admission of guilt. Now let me put that into perspective for some persons. If you are charging an offense and you're brought before the court, let me summarize this quickly. And you're brought before the court gives you 3 options. 3 options. Option number 1, you can either go in the stand, not be sworn, make a statement, and nobody can ask that question. You come back and sit down. Option number 2, you can go in the stand, be sworn, and both lawyers, the defense lawyer And the prosecutor is able to ask, examine and cross-examine, ask your questions. Long story short. And your third option is you can stay in your seat and say absolutely nothing because the burden of proof is on the prosecution for them to prove that you have committed an offense. That is what your constitutional right afford you. So please explain to me, why is it that a police officer does not share the same constitutional rights? Are they not Jamaicans? So let me go to the Income Act. The Income Act, section 33 of the Income Act, subsection B, subsection 2, says every person who fails to comply with any lawful requirement of the commissioner or any person under this act commits an offense and shall be liable on summary conviction in a resident magistrate court to a fine not exceeding $3 million or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years, or both fine and imprisonment. I don't know if you guys understand what I just said to you. So I'm explaining it. I'm going to break it down for you. It means that if Income decide that when I open fire and I shot and injured someone, they believe that I act unlawfully, and they ask me to write a statement about what I did, and I say, but I am the accused. It is your duty to prove that what I did was wrong. Income can say, no, I am charging you for failure to comply with the lawful requirement of the commission. So if Income can't catch you one way, they catch you the other way. Isn't this a breach of your constitutional right? Are you guys trying to tell me that the Income Act supersedes the Constitution of Jamaica? That's the question. That's the essential question I want to ask about in this particular video, when I'm trying to prove to you guys that when the Parliament sat down and came up with this act, they were probably thinking more anti-police than anything else. I'm telling you, this is not about curbing corrupt police. Because if that was the case, why after 51 police that you arrested and charged, you couldn't convict 10 or 15 of them? Like, seriously. People, I'm saying, if you allow the government to step on the constitutional rights of any section, any body, any individual in society, because isn't that the reason why Income was formed? So that police officers cannot overstep their bounds and demolish the rights of citizens. Isn't that the purpose of Income too? So why is it Income is allowed to breach the constitutional rights of police officers in Jamaica? Please answer me that question. That's all I'm asking you. There are several other things in Income Act that just does not add up. It just does not add up. I'm not going to go through them right now, because I'm not going to make this video too long. Or, some person were asking about the defamation. Income Act, section 27, subsection 3, says, for the purpose of the Defamation Act, any report made by the Commission under this Act, and any fair and accurate report thereon shall be deemed to be privileged. You know what that means? It started by saying any report made. It didn't go straight to say any fair and accurate report. It said any report made by the Income Office is deemed to be, it means you can't sue them. You can't carry them to court for defamation of character. That is what it means, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what I'm asking. Must be revised. Income must be held accountable for their actions. They cannot be allowed to continue on the path that they are on. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And this is what I'm battling. I'm not going to stop. The next act I'm going to do is try and get a petition, an online petition, to go to the Prime Minister's office. But before I can ask you to vote on an online petition, I have to bring to your attention the gross atrocities that lies within the Income Act. How can an independent act supersede that of the Constitution of Jamaica? Are we all admitting that police officers have no rights? Tell me.